When I was a kid growing up in Southern California, I had my life mapped out. I knew what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, and how I was going to get there. But what no one tells you is how mysteriously and differently life can actually turn out. So now, in my mid-40s, I'm divorced. I have 2 kids that are almost out of the house, and I'm on my 2nd career. Maybe, like me, you are looking for the best new place to hang out with friends. Maybe you're looking for financial advice. So am I. But I have a secret for you. LA is one of the best places to reinvent yourself. From the beach to downtown in the mountains and everything in between. Parenting advice? You can come to me. Dating advice? I'm doing a lot of that in this city. So join me. I'm Marissa as we traverse this incredible city and intentionally rediscover and create Life 2.0. Welcome and good morning. I am Marissa Gold. This is Life 2.0. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. We are coming to you live from Brentwood, California, and I am joined in the studio by my friend and co-producer, Natasha Phillips. She's helping me open the show again this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, because we have
lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about.
So much to talk about.
And we should probably just dive right in.
Let's dive right in. Yeah.
So we had an awesome weekend. Do you want to tell our viewers about our weekend?
Well, don't I look like I literally just came off of the plane from Vegas? Vegas, baby.
Wow.
Woo! It was
so
really
much fun. We did everything.
I'm even wearing my Vegas shoes.
Oh yeah, me too.
Woo! Vegas shoes.
Vegas shoes.
We could do a fashion segment based on our shopping in Vegas. That was fun.
So what? Let's just go over quickly why we
were actually there.
We were in Vegas for NAB, the National Associations of Broadcasters show. It was 100 years.
It was celebrating 100 years of bringing content creation to you.
And so that was our purpose for being there. But we did great meals. We did the show. We did shopping. We did, what else?
Drinking,
eating, poolside. Here we go. This is starting off in the plane.
This was on the plane. Okay, so we stayed at the Aria. Those were the bubbles in the entrance, and it's really fun. The Aria is a beautiful hotel. It's right next to the Cosmopolitan.
See, we had pool time.
Yeah, we had pool time
there.
We
gambled too.
Yeah, that's right, I gambled. It was really fun. And I got to meet Rachel McCord from the McCord List. We got to share some exciting news, which we're going to be sharing more and more of that in the coming days and weeks. And this was when we were actually going to the NAB conference. And this is like, if you are interested at all in technology in and around broadcasting.
Oh, black magic. Sorry,
I
have just to get super excited. I had to cut in.
So my producers, Natasha and Andy, this was like their dream come true show. And I was kind of like along for the ride.
You learned a lot though.
No, I learned a ton.
You weren't really along for the ride because you got to host and interview people and get to experience cool things because of it.
Yeah, it was really fun. And I learned so much. I mean, I learned so much, and I got to meet some really interesting people, and I got to do a lot of hosting. And I do feel much more adept at what goes on behind the scenes now.
Even though you don't want to.
Even though I don't really want to be behind it.
Oh, and there's Alex.
This was us at the end of the day. We were so tired. We, you know, for people who don't go to a convention center or don't go to shows, you're on your feet for the entire day, and you're walking on cement the entire day. And one of the tips that, you know, people always say is wear comfortable shoes. And we all three of us,
he wasn't wearing these shoes.
No, we were not wearing. These were not our. These were not our. These were not the convention shoes. These were the going out shoes. But even our convention shoes, which I have to say, I brought what I thought were really comfortable shoes, and both of us, our feet at the end of the day were swollen and so, in a bit of we were feeling it.
We were feeling it, but
it was worth it. It was worth it.
We learned so much. Well, we actually learned so much at NAB, but we discovered some things. We got to touch product, see things that we're interested in.
You got to have questions answered.
Questions answered.
You guys were able to talk to people very specific in very specific companies.
Yeah.
I think that is probably what is the most amazing thing about these conferences is you have immediate access to people that literally know the product inside and out. And so you can walk into a room and you can talk to the people who run the ATEMs and run the understand ISO and understand the Blackmagic cameras and the lighting and the trusses, and everyone is there. It's so accessible. It's in one place. And so, you know, you can get so much accomplished in one day that normally you would be sitting on the phone and making appointments, and it would be so
and
different.
Touch, feel, and see some of the new products that are coming out. We got to discover something, a camera that we use in the studio and that we love, that they're bringing out 2 updated versions this year, one in June and one in November, so we're very excited about that. Touch and feel some products that we knew were out there but was something that we would never use. Like those massive drones.
I was really just going to say I love the DJI exhibit. It was really fun, even though I'm not myself in the market for a drone. It was fun.
But that was super fun. So are there any other updates that we need to give? Because we have an amazing guest.
I have a great guest. I'm so excited to bring her on. Thespina Petronas is here with us in the studio, and she's going to be joining us in a couple of moments. But, I feel like maybe we should do a dating project update.
Sure, let's do a quick dating project update. So tell us what's been happening, what's been going on.
So it's been an interesting week. So the person that I had gone on numerous dates, I felt last week, like the beginning-ish of last week, I felt like he was pulling back a bit. And I took my older daughter on a college visit. You know, we went and looked at a couple of colleges, and so I was out of town for 2 days. And because I was out of town and my mind was there, I just wasn't texting anyone really a lot. And so what happened was at the end of the first day, I realized I hadn't heard from him at all. And I was like, that's really weird, because we had been talking like every day. And so I texted him that night, and it was late. I knew he would already be asleep, but I sent him a text anyways. And I just said, I'm sorry we didn't connect today. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you had a good day. Anyways, the next morning he sent me back like a very, not cold, but very short text, and it just felt different. And I just said, I'm busy again today with my daughter. And the whole day went by and I didn't hear from him. Those 2 days, it just felt very different. And so when I just kind of let it lie, and I just wanted to let it kind of percolate in my mind and think about how or what I wanted, and then how to potentially go, where to go from there. And so the next morning I sent him a longer text that just basically said, I'm feeling a bit like your motivation has changed, and it just feels different, and if that's the case, let me know. And if that's not the case, I said, if I'm reading into it and that's not the case, and I've just been busy and you're busy, then let's talk. But he got back to me almost immediately, and he said, no, you're right. He said, I am feeling like when we first started this, I was in a different place and I was ready for a relationship, and you're clearly
further ahead in that process than I am, and that's not what I want right now. And you know, he was very polite and sweet, and he said, "You're a great person, but I don't want to waste your time." And look, who knows what his reasons are. It was at least the outro was respectful, and it was nice. And you know, it was a bummer. I did enjoy hanging out with him, and I thought maybe we were building something. He was so far in this entire time the only person I had switched over from my dating phone to my real phone, and so there was some real like hope there. But you know, it didn't happen, and so it's okay. It's so now back on the apps and talking to a few different people, and you know, we'll see where it leads. So. This is all part of the game.
It is all part of the game.
I do wonder if, you know, we were talking about it a little bit in Vegas, and I do wonder if you took someone who, you know, was similar to me, but basically from the get-go was like, I don't want anything. Like, I just want casual, if he'd be interested. Or if he found, you know, if there was something legitimate that he was like, this is not someone. And then I'm curious, you know, I would like to know, like, was there a point at, you know, but I'll never know because we're not talking anymore. I don't believe in like stringing along. You know, like there was a part of me last night actually when we landed in Vegas, I almost texted him just to be like, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you? And then I just thought like, why? What for? Like he's not interested in anything. And the last like I'm not looking to have a bunch of friends, you know, male friends, because as you and I have talked, I don't necessarily believe that men and women. I know you feel differently. I believe that like in a working relationship, men and women can be in a very like, you know, where there are kind of strict boundaries around the social whatever dynamics. There can be male-female relationship friendships, but I don't really believe outside of work.
I don't know. I have a few good friends that
I know you feel differently.
And we've been friends for many
well,
years.
and I do think that I think that there's a difference. I do think if you've been friends for many years, they come into your life in a certain point or they fulfill a certain need. I do think that might be different. I think now if I make a friend when I'm like dating and someone wants to stay friends after, like that to me like no,
doesn't happen.
No.
But I do have one friend that we were friends when we were very much younger, and when I did get married, he said to me, I just can't be friends. I can't be friends with you. Yeah. There were a number of reasons, but
I get that. I mean,
but we've now reconnected.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, and I feel that way about my ex. I don't feel like he, you know, like I think he would want to be friends. I don't think that I could be friends with him. That's just not.
You could have.
We could have had things not gone a certain way.
Yeah.
Potentially we could have, but now at this point, there's not really room for that.
Yeah.
So at any rate,
No, nothing tomorrow.
And we're live. I love when that happens.
And well, let's get, we're going to get Crispina on here.
Yes.
We have such a full day, and that's why we don't want to have time. But let me ask you your biggest takeaway from Vegas quickly.
Oh, my biggest takeaway from Vegas? My biggest takeaway from Vegas was a little bit kind of like what I said, which is I think, you know, going to these convention shows is really important because you get to meet the people that are behind all the stuff that we use in the studio. And I think having, you know, as Andy always says, we're in the relationship business.
Yes.
And so I think building those relationships and having a moment in time, a weekend, you know, when you can actually be with these people, have dinner with these people, talk to them, get to know them as human beings and not just as the person who sold us the camera. I think that is something that is really an integral part of the experience. And I think that coming back from it, it will just help holistically in building and being in the best business possible in the studio. So that was really my takeaway, is that how important it is to really go to these conventions and to have these the time with these people. What about you?
Pretty similar. I mean, for me, there were so many highlights. I just can't pin down one.
What? I did. I brought, it's in the green bag. I brought all of my goodies.
All of our best takeaways.
Oh yeah. Did you bring yours?
I did not actually. I completely forgot. But
I was going to text you.
I did win
I have a little extra time. Oh, I just got some extra time.
I did win a.
Well, wait. Let's set it up. So like we went in there and we said. We were like, we're going to walk around.
And find the most interesting giveaways.
Yes, because at these conventions, all of the booths have giveaways. They're marketing gimmicky things where they put their names. And so you
Yeah,
collect
most of the
things.
time you get a pen.
Yeah, most of the time you get a pen.
Which is
This
sparkly pen.
So I have to find out. I did not
Okay.
get a shoe. That's it for a change of outfit for later. Nor did I get these jeans. Nor did I get this belt. But this is fun. You all get to see what I'm going to be changing into later, because
After our little field trip.
Yes. Okay. So this was my badge. That's my badge. Very fun.
Yes.
And then we walked around and we got some fun things. So this was from a company called Hollyland. This is a t-shirt.
Oh, you got it? I didn't even notice that.
You didn't get it?
I didn't even see that.
Because I said to you guys, we're going to play a game and see who can find the most interesting, fun, different stuff.
That's super cool. I
Isn't
wish
that
I got that
cool?
t-shirt.
Isn't that cute? I showed
I want that
I would
t-shirt.
have given it to you, except that I already showed it to my daughter and she claimed it as like she's like, oh my God, that's going to be a great camp sleep t-shirt. So that.
I would have cut it off and cut it and
like that. Oh yeah, see,
worn it
she's
as an actual t-shirt, like with jeans.
So I have to say, so this was something that I actually quite liked, but they totally screwed the pooch on this one, and I'm going to tell you why. So this is a
server.
No, that's what it looks like, yes, but it's actually a car freshener.
I know, but I'm saying it looks like a server.
It looks like a server, but I'm going to tell you how they messed up on this one.
Yeah.
Their name is not on here. I have no idea what company this is, right? Unless it's H15, or it's so teeny tiny.
It's so teeny tiny you can't even
read
see it.
So this, theoretically, this was I only found this at one booth. And this is actually a good idea. How do you even see? It is so tiny, and we are probably the youngest people in the room by 30 years, by the way.
I need a magnifying glass. But you know what? I got the other shape one, so maybe the other shape one has a bit.
Oh yeah, that's true. She was younger than me. There were some cool stickers. Do you want another sticker for what? Closer to me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Closer to me. This company was Cloudian. They were data production, so they had some fun stickers.
Yeah.
This was a good one. This one.
Oh,
this
I
was
like that
also
one.
Hollyland.
Yeah, that's why I took this Hollyland one, but I didn't see.
I went over. They were giving these away.
I'm very disappointed about the t-shirt.
You were talking, and I was looking for gifts.
Yeah, because I was asking questions. I needed some questions answered.
I was looking for gifts, and I was shopping, and you were being educated. So this was a good one. This is a really good one. This has all 3 types of cables. I actually am super excited about this.
Yeah.
This was, so Hollyland, I think Hollyland may have won for giveaways.
Oh, I don't think
You don't
Hollyland.
think so?
Oh, there was a
no, well then, okay, these were cool. This was from Vast. My other daughter claimed these for camp. Both of them were like, why didn't you get 2 t-shirts and 2 sunglasses? Like, oh.
No, why didn't you get 3 t-shirts?
I know.
3 t-shirts.
This is a coaster.
I didn't even see that either.
And it's a wood coaster. Now, sorry, I don't really care about the name, but I'm going to put it down like that, and it looks so nice.
It does look
right.
nice.
Okay, this was one I had. This was so funny. Okay, so this is. Did you get this?
No,
Andy and I got
did
these.
see it. I didn't.
Okay, so this is like a little. What's it called? What's this material called? I forget. I'm blanking on what it's called. Anyways,
neoprene.
Neoprene. Thank you. Neoprene. So, and it's got the company was Periphery, but I walked up and I picked this up and I was like, what is this? And he was like, I'll give you $10 if you can figure out what it is, if you know what it is. And I said, oh, I totally know what it is. What do you think it is? Did you know? Did you hear us when he told us?
No, I didn't.
So what do you think it is?
It's a cable tie.
That is exactly what I said. That is 100% what they should have gone with. But no, they said it is to put on your luggage to identify your luggage. Which honestly, guys, you're a tech company. It should be a cable tie. I'm not sure who your marketing person is, but hire us instead. But then every tech person leaving NAB has a black suitcase
exactly
with that on it. Totally. It's so true. It's so true. So this from Nova Star. Did you get
same
one?
company?
Oh, it is?
That's the same company.
Okay. Well, nowhere on here does it say Nova Star.
It says it's super, super tiny.
Okay, well, that is just a miss on their part. But this I really liked. And this I'm actually going to use for my keys because I needed something exactly like this. So I'm excited about that. Obviously, there were a lot of people giving away hand sanitizer.
No, they were not.
I saw a lot of hand sanitizer.
Did you? Oh.
I did. I did. I saw a lot of. Okay, this.
Oh, this I love.
Is the pen.
Okay, you know how to figure this out?
I don't know how to figure that out.
Oh, your pen is not working anymore. It's run out of battery.
Oh.
Because it had a little stopper on the top, so you couldn't turn it off. So you had to take it off.
And turn
That's
it.
how you turn it off.
Now my pen is broken.
And then you
one
twist
day.
it. Yeah, but we can get another battery.
Oh, it's just a battery. Okay.
Yeah,
what kind of battery is it?
It's probably like a little
like one of
hearing
those
aid.
little. Yeah. Okay. So these were some of the other.
battery.
These were the last ones. I'm saving my favorite one for last.
I know.
This one I thought was pretty cool too. This was from Toner Cable Equipment. And this was it's a bottle opener on a key ring.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm not gonna actually keep it on my key ring, but I'm gonna keep it in my car. So that's actually very cool. This was a tape measure.
I like that one too.
The tape measure?
Yeah.
Yeah. What company did this?
Here we go. Here's how we change the battery.
IMAX? I don't know. But I thought this was cool. I think this, I like these little gadgety, easy to pick up. Okay, and then this one from Live View. I thought this was
lip gloss.
Is it? Is that what it is?
I think so.
I
haven't opened it
so
yet.
They had this like little bowl filled with all of these ball thingies, and
Live View is being used by office hours.
Oh, really?
Did you not hear that today? No, I'm saying at this convention, that's how they're getting the signal out. Yeah, they're all walking around with their little Live View things.
That's smart. That's smart. Okay, so Live View gave. Oh, it is. I love that. And I'm like a huge lip gloss, lip chapstick person. Huge.
You can have mine. I haven't opened it.
You don't like it?
Well, I don't know what the ingredients are.
Oh, I know. That is true. And that's definitely not organic. I can tell you that much.
No, I will not put that on my
I know you will not put that on your lips. Wait, where's my favorite? What happened to it?
Oh no!
No, it was literally just here. Here it is. Okay.
So then we stopped at a stall, which
Coresight
looked awesome, and it had all these like lights and shiny things. And Marissa was like, "I want that," and I'm not going to tell you till the end of the story. I want that
because one of the guys was playing with it in order to like draw attention,
and it was cool. But they had a wheel that we got to spin, and I'm sure you saw it in the video, and they had amazing things on the wheel. I didn't even check the wheel. I just spun it. I was like, well, whatever. And I spun the wheel, and I got a Vegas survival kit.
What was in your Vegas survival kit?
I got 2 toothbrushes, toothpaste, emergency, a rehydrate type thing, like a hydration type thing.
Wasn't there earplugs? Yeah.
I got multiple sets of earplugs.
There it is. There's the wheel.
There we go. You can see it now, spinning away.
Yep.
And I was so excited with that because the morning before we left, my toothbrush broke. So I was really excited to get in
It was amazing. You got a toothbrush.
I like manifested that toothbrush.
You totally
it was so exciting. I was so excited with that. But there were awesome prizes like a
$25 gift card to Starbucks.
To Starbucks.
Which would have come in very handy because we do this every day here.
And all Marissa wanted was this thing that she even said, if I win something else, can I trade for this thing? And she spun and she won something else. And
I traded. I traded.
Too noisy.
Okay, for the light up ball.
Super cool.
And I got it. And I have to say, it did keep me entertained for quite a long time.
Considering that Andy and I were like geeking out on all the equipment, Marissa needed something to entertain herself with.
And people were like, what is this girl doing in the middle of all these tech companies playing with a ball? But it was good. Anyways, stay tuned. Up next, we have Vespina Patronus. I cannot wait for you to meet her. She is beautiful inside and out and an incredible musician. And she's done her own Life 2.0 change. And I can't wait to hear all about it. See you in a couple minutes.
Super fun Vegas trip. So here is our Jackery. Unbox it. You want to get it charged up. You use this fantastic charger over here. This is the output over there. And it has an extra cable like this with the ability to charge it in your car. So that is really cool. So we have it all charged up. It has here, you can press on the display. You can see now that it is not drawing any power, it is not bringing in any power, and it is 99% charged, which is cool. So as you want to use all your separate things, you can turn on the little lights, and it will show you, as you can see there, that now you can draw power out of them, or you can turn them off, just like you would at home. If you want to leave something plugged in, but not having it draw power, there you can turn it off. So let's have some fun and see what our Jackery can fire up. So in the past, we have used the Jackery to light up our lives with Govee. We have charged our cell phones, and we have done a few other things. But we've even lit up the Aero Garden. How amazing is that we were able to light up the Aero Garden? But today we're going to push the Jackery to the limit, and we are going to take a look at the This Works. What's this? This Works car vacuum. Awesome, very cool. And we could even take a look at Tambi used it. And how amazing is this? Oh my goodness. You can just keep on going and going and going. You can get into every little nook and cranny in your car with all of this. How awesome. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stick it into our Jackery. Let's do it this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Turn it on. The little light and the display have gone on because we are about to fire this up. Thank you, Mr. Jackery. There we go. That is cool. So let's see what else we can fire up today. I mean, that is just so cool. You see, powerful vacuum, Jackery fired it up. Let's have a look at some of the other things that we can fire up today. Let's see. Here we go. So let's try the Levoit air purifier. I mean, this is a high power drawing item, I think. I would imagine so. It's not something that you would generally plug into this little power port here. Amazing. If this works, you know how incredible this must be. So not only is the Jackery used when you are camping or exploring the world in your RV or your car, the Jackery can also be your backup power source for a disaster. Disaster preparedness. The Jackery is definitely something that you'd want to have in your home. And like, God forbid there is something and the air is not pure and now you're stuck in your home, you've got no power, you can't put your air purifiers on. If there's a huge amount of dust in the air, or if there's a big, like we are in California, there could be a huge earthquake, will bring up a lot of dust, but you obviously want to still keep your lungs protected. Let's see if the Jackery not only will give us power, but will also save lives. So plug it in over here. We'll turn it on. And you can see, let's actually put this up a little bit because you'll be able to see the lights. So let's put that, try and see if you can see that there. This all in the name of, okay, there we go. So the little light is on. We have the, did you see that? Okay, turn it on. Let's turn on the light so you guys can see.
And welcome back. I am your host, Marissa, with Life 2.0. Thank you so much for joining me this morning in the studio. It is a beautiful day in Brentwood, California. And I am joined in the studio by Thespina Patronas. Am I saying it correctly?
Yeah, you are, yeah.
Okay, good. Kalimera.
Kalimera.
I know
Marissa.
a few Greek words. That's one of them. Kalinichta, Efcharisto.
Wow, really great accent.
Thanks. Well, I also speak Hebrew, so it helps.
Okay, that's awesome.
And Spanish, so it helps just a little bit because I got the h and the r.
And the accent in all the right places.
Yeah. And I lived in Athens.
You did?
I did.
For how long, Marissa? Oh my gosh, you didn't share that with me.
I know. So I actually worked on the Athens Olympics.
In 2004.
In 2004.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
And yeah, so at the time I worked for the ticketing company.
Okay.
And I was in charge of our employee incentivizing program where we brought over 50 employees to there was a whole employee, we had thousands of employees there, but I was in the national marketing team at that company.
Wow.
And so my job at the time was to create basically an 18-month incentivization program for sales in the company, and the people who did the most sales, they then won a trip to the Olympics, and I was the one that planned it. So I was part of the Olympic family, and I was going back and forth, living in Athens for a couple weeks at a time for like a year and a half going up to it.
That's exciting.
It was like probably one of the best times of my life. And then the summer of the Olympics, I was there for 3 months.
Wow.
It was incredible. I love Athens.
I love Athens.
I love
too.
Athens. It's such an amazing, vibrant, cultural, artistic
energy.
And I, like, my producers know, like, I am European at heart. Like I like the food better. I like the cultures better. It
had smells,
lifestyle,
everything there.
Yeah, and just like I go out to dinner here at like 9 p.m., and people are like, most people are in bed. And I'm like, but it wouldn't be like this if I was in Barcelona or Athens.
Exactly.
I'd be going out at the normal time. So the first question, so welcome to Life 2.0.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
So amazing to be here.
I have so many more like Athens and Santorini stories and that I want to share with you, but we'll get to that. But so the first question that I always ask every guest is, Life 2.0 is really about how when we are younger, we envision a life for ourselves where we're going to be when we're at this stage in our lives. And I'm always curious, are you at the place where you thought you would be when you were, let's say, 20?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
I mean, that's
Definitely
the answer
not.
I expected because I have yet to have someone on who has said yes.
Really?
Okay, not one person so far.
Okay, that's relieving a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel so discouraged. I'm like, I'm still not where
but I think
want
that's
to be.
the beauty of this show, and I think that's the beauty of understanding the trajectories of our life and how they change and how we're always recalibrating. So tell me, where did you think you were going to be? If that's okay.
Oh my gosh, I thought I was going, family is really important to me.
Okay.
So I really thought that I would be like married with kids at white picket fence, American dream, right? Not the European dream, but and then just being really successful in something that I love doing. And it was, my passion has always been my music.
Okay.
And
even when you were younger?
Oh, when I was like 4 years old, I knew I wanted to be either in an opera singer or a film score, writing music for films because I love that environment, or in marine biology because I love the ocean, I love water.
I love that. That's amazing. I love that. I love the ocean and water as well. It's like my happy place.
It's my happy place. So I knew those two things. I wanted to be surrounded by water and I wanted to be surrounded by music. And then growing up, of course, I was pursuing that. I would play piano 2 hours every day.
Okay.
I would miss out on a lot of things that other teenagers did because I was really devoted to my music.
Okay.
So I was kind of sheltered in that way because I was so happy with my music. I didn't need to do all the other wild things that other teenagers were doing.
Were you innately driven in your music, or was there pressure coming from family?
I had no pressure. It was me.
Which is why you continued to love it, probably, and why that passion really remained and has remained.
Yes.
It was so internally driven.
My mother was my biggest inspiration because she is by heart, she's an artist.
Okay.
She played piano, she was singing, she draws, she left Santorini Island, went to Belgium, studied in an all-girls school.
Wow.
Interior designing, and there was a lot of models and photographers, and it was just a really fun place for her to be as she explored being in that place growing up. And then she realized, as she got married and she had kids and devoted herself to her husband and his work, she had to let go of a lot of her dreams. And so she wanted to make sure that I was able to tap into my,
your dreams.
My dreams and my naturally given talents. But you discover that as you get older too. You don't always know who you are as a person or what you love doing or what is really your niche unless you start exploring and getting to know yourself as a person and life and experiences and friends and family,
Yeah.
get to teach you that along the way in your
Absolutely.
journey, and you're still learning. I'm still learning about myself,
Yeah.
and being
Always
in different
and
situations.
That's the process, right? That we're constantly learning. And one of the things that I always say, with whether it's with my children or in work or just my friend in general in life, is that it's equally important to find things that we don't like and know what we don't like and what makes us unhappy.
Definitely.
As because I think as human beings, we're always searching for the good feelings, and we're always searching for the things we love and the new and the happy and
Instant
exciting.
gratification.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's equally, and if not more important in some ways, is also knowing what are the things that you don't enjoy and don't want to be doing. And, I think, like, I talk to my girls all the time about this, because they have this mindset that if something has happened and they don't like it, they're not happy, it's been a waste of time. And I will say to them, no, it's not a waste of time, because now you can put that in the category of, I tried it and I know definitively this is not something that I like or enjoy, or and so you can then explore and experiment with other things. And I think that is a part of growing up that we don't actually understand. And if we understood that, then we would look at everything more holistically, everything as like, oh, this was part of my journey and this is getting me to where I'm going.
Exactly.
Right?
And it's also being able to sit on those uncomfortable feelings.
Absolutely.
A lot of times I notice a lot of people, and
especially today
want to
world.
numb their
Yep.
feelings and want to
Absolutely.
numb that uncomfortable feeling of not sitting there or receiving that instant gratification and that adrenaline and that dopamine, and then moving forward to the next thing.
Right.
But it really isn't that way. We need to sit and explore and meditate and pray and
be okay in the uncomfortable.
in the uncomfortable,
Yeah, and learn from it.
And learn from it, and becoming people as whole and heal through that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's okay if we don't actually heal even 100%. It's part of
it's part of the
brokenness and our raw,
Absolutely.
and being that's
Yeah.
the beautiful part of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people try to pretend in this really fast-paced world that we live in, especially Los Angeles, that everything needs to be perfect and
Right.
plastic
And look beautiful
and-
and shiny and sparkly on the outside.
yeah, and it's not that way. It's okay to, not be at the place that you want to be, or feel that the way that you want to be, but be real, and not try to numb yourself with so many things that are harmful.
And it's interesting. I actually think people are starting to really appreciate the realness in some ways more than the sparkly, because we have a lot of influencers that come through these doors, and we all follow influencers, and my kids follow influencers. And it's interesting because I've kind of watched this trajectory of how people have followed people that have been, everything is perfect and everything looks good and everything is funny and everything is, my new outfit and where the party I'm going to and my happiness about, right? But what I'm starting to really see is there's this new kind of upcrop
Trend.
of like, this is what my life is really like, like, and last week, my daughter was following someone who she loves, who is really real, and she was actually like, she had gone live from her car. She was stuck in her car. It was raining. She ran out of gas, and she was crying, and it was real. And I said to my daughter, like, that is real life. And like the other night, she was posting how she was out with friends and having so much fun. And now she's crying in her car and calling her dad for help, and she's in her mid to late 20s, And I think like that is something that was helpful for my daughter to see, because it's like, that person, she has actually, like I said, she's part of this trend where she's really starting to show her real life and the highs and the lows. And I think that's so important. And I think we've been stuck in this, I don't know that I want to call it like this Kardashian era, because I think they're actually starting to get very real too.
Yeah.
But, historically they weren't, the Paris Hiltons and the Kardashians and all of the Instagrammers, and even the ones that only have a couple 100,000 followers, have portray this very plasticky life, which is not real.
I think it's important to
Right?
be, Marissa, transparent.
I totally agree.
You
and
have to be
authentic.
authentic.
Authentic and transparent. I
But
agree.
also you have to kind of like, I always am a big believer in not giving your pearls to swines.
No, I love that.
Because
Don't give your pearls to swines.
Yeah, because they'll
I love
trample
that.
on them, and they won't
Yeah.
appreciate who you are as a person. So you have to protect yourself
Yeah.
at times as well.
Yeah.
You have to be transparent, but you have to know when
yeah.
and when people can appreciate your realness as well.
Yeah, no, I love that. So you started off, you were a therapist.
Well, I started.
What made you do that? What was your trajectory?
So
That's so opposite from music.
No,
I mean, it's not
really.
so opposite. I guess it depends how you use it. But
So I started off in music. Music
Yeah.
was my passion.
Yeah.
And then I was a little bit, music wasn't always around me. I had to chase to have music in my life because my father is a entrepreneur in business, and so music was just not really something that was maybe
Accepted.
understood or
Right.
appreciated as much.
Yeah.
But he is one of my biggest fans and supporters, and my mother as well. But it wasn't like I was born into a family where I would hear music every day,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
other children. So I was just naturally drawn to that. It was my happy place and my escape place too, where I could feel safe and heal and explore and write my poetry and music and my storytelling. And it was just a really beautiful place to be. And I just love always going back to that. So then growing up, I moved and I knew that I wanted to live in Europe. I knew that LA was just suffocating and I needed to explore. And
get away from the big Greek family a little bit and grow and live on your own and become your own person, which I think is really important. Knowing that you have that base that you can always come back to.
I had a safe base,
Yeah.
but I just was a girl that was, my dad called me Bubulina. I was just this really dynamic girl that I felt that I could conquer the world. I was brave, but naive at the same time because I didn't know what was out there. So anyways, I went and explored, and I went to Europe, and I continued my modeling and my acting, and then I realized that I liked it, but I didn't really like it enough to stay in that environment, and so then I just kind of shifted out of it.
Okay.
And then life kind of happened. And then I kind of I came back to California, where it was my safe base for my family to be here and the support, because I was in a relationship that wasn't a really happy relationship, and then after that, my parents were just really big in education, and they were just like, okay, now it's time for you to get this degree and that degree and this degree. And I was like,
okay, I guess I'll do that.
Yeah. And so I ended up, when I was in Greece, I was studying theology, and then I transferred my credits, and then I came to the States, and I continued, and I finished in education and counseling and theology as well. And then after that, while having the support of my family and then traveling and living in Greece 6 months back and forth. I mean, it's like a long story.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to build my roots there. I didn't want to leave Europe at all. I didn't want to have to come back here.
Yeah.
But I did, and then I ended up exploring being a therapist for almost 7 years and supporting children that had that were on the spectrum, and supporting families as well that were having a really hard time because the divorce rate is 80%. It's so high. And consulting and doing crisis and trauma was really what drew me. I loved crisis and trauma. I loved being that miracle person that could provide solutions.
I love that.
And why it attracted me was because I believe there's always solutions, and there's a safe place to heal, and that's what music is about too. It provides healing.
Absolutely.
It provides a place not to escape, but a safe place, I think, and to explore as an artist. And so I think they're kind of parallel, like in providing that place where you can explore and what don't you like, what do you like, keep what is good for you, throw away what is not good for you. You don't have to keep it in your life, and just to give them the strength and faith and love to help to heal and move on and do it in a community as well. So I really love that journey. And then I realized that after I was in that journey, I had some personal things that I had to deal with. And it was really hard to continue as I was in my master's program, completing my, internship hours, and it was really gruesome, very, very demanding. It takes a toll on you as well, because you have to work really long hours and late hours as well. And I was working all the time, and I was juggling my music, and I was juggling doing other private projects, and then I was juggling being a therapist. I mean, I'm just always doing everything and wearing many hats. I guess that us Greek women we learn to do something like that. And then I said, I needed to do some more self-care. I'm preaching to the choir here. Do self-care. I'm not doing the self-care. I've taken way too much load of, all these cases. And so then I just kind of removed myself from that. And I had to grieve, and I had to mourn that career and realize that you know, I learned and I took the good and the bad, and then I kind of shifted into doing a lot of events and projects and started going back into the artistic world where I was really happy and could explore. But of course, the financial aspect is really challenging as well. And then, and then after all that happened, you know, and I felt like I was kind of released. I said, okay, now I can explore and really tap into what makes me happy. And it was just kind of like relocating, surprisingly, back to Greece.
Interesting.
Yeah, even though my family base is here, I felt that I was kind of released from certain responsibilities. And even though I was, you know, my parents are really, really supportive. I have a really loving and strong, supportive family.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have to really, like my big fat Greek wedding, Nia Vardalos, she talks about how unhappy she is in working with the family business, right?
Yeah.
And she goes off in ventures. Of course, she marries a Xeno, you know. But, you know, it's really about being like brave to explore your own dreams and what really makes you happy, and not being that good girl that you always have to make everybody else happy.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I do think that there are certain cultures and certain religions where there is the children are kind of brought up to believe that they have to stay within the familial structure in order to
especially
keep
girls.
the peace. Yeah,
especially girls.
In order to keep the peace and to keep things going, and that there are certain obligations that have to play out, right? And whenever I meet someone who comes from a family like that or a background like that, and they've actually said, no, I'm gonna go out and do my own thing and try my own thing, and maybe I'll go back, maybe I won't, I'm gonna see, right? Like, it's a transition, right? But I think it's really empowering to hear that you have done that
many times.
Many times, exactly. I think it's really empowering to hear that you've done that, because I do think that as I said, I think that there are a lot of cultures and religions and backgrounds where there is an expectation of what the children are going to do as they get older, even if they don't necessarily feel that in their heart that is what they want to do. And so I think your ability to say to yourself, not only is this something that I need to kind of push back against, but I'm actually going to, right? Because I think there are a lot of people that might have those feelings of like, oh, I want to try something else, but then to actually take action and do it.
Marissa, life is short. Life
totally.
is so short when you realize how life is so precious and so short. You just kind of create that circle of your friends that really love you and you support you, and the people that you want in your life, and the family. You don't have to keep everybody in that same circle.
I'm a really big believer, actually, in moving on from people that don't support me and that don't want my support.
Or you outgrow some people that aren't good for you.
I'm not someone who like collects friends and has like friends. I mean, I do have some that I've collected that have stayed with me forever, but I don't keep them around just because, right? And like I do find that we need people in our lives that are good to us and we are good to them. And
it's we have to be intentional, and we have to be intentional. We have to be. Everything has a purpose and an impact, and it has to be something that. Everything is surrounded by love in my life, because I think that I don't know why, but there isn't a lot of love. Like, you can find love in nature, you can find love in the simplest things in life, and when you're driven by that and driven by that light, and that you're enlightened by that, I think that you can conquer anything.
You can. I think when we come at things from a place of love, you can really conquer anything. I agree with that. So tell me now, so you've gone back to your music, you've released 2 albums, correct?
Yes. Yeah, finally, and it took a really long time because I was in a really dry and challenging and lonely season. Okay. And it was just so
creatively that you were really affected by that.
Yeah, and it was really relieving for me just to release that out and say, okay, you know, because it's being an artist is also, as you know, really vulnerable and really scary, because you have to share so many things about you, and not everybody's willing to share. Like, I'm not, it just takes a lot of strength to be able to do that sometimes.
Absolutely, yeah. You have to be authentic and vulnerable and transparent. It takes a lot of gumption in order to really do that. I think that there are a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, I'm authentic and I'm transparent," but I've always believed if you have to tell people you are something, you're like, you just need to show. You just need to be that way. You know?
People think I'm outgoing. Yeah. I'm definitely outgoing. Yeah. But then there's also a side of me that I want to keep kind of private and only to people that I really trust and trust.
Exactly. That makes sense to me, and I understand that, and I can really appreciate that. Because we do want to protect ourselves and know that when we put ourselves out there in a vulnerable way, we're not going to be taken advantage of or judged. Yet, I also think that that is a part of what does happen, and we also have to get to a point where we can be okay with that. If we're living our true self, you know, if someone doesn't like me and I am who I am, then they're not gonna, you know, to your point, living with intention, they're not gonna be my best friend, and that's okay, because I'm gonna have other close friends that are gonna get me and understand me for who I am authentically and transparently, right?
Definitely.
And I think that's been something that I've really learned in the last few years, seeing people come in and out of my life post-divorce, and how different people have supported me, and, you know, through the things that we've gone through. So you went back to your music.
Yes, and then I continue. I'm working now on new music because I was, you know, in Greece a lot this past 6 months.
Okay.
And it just kind of helped me to clear my, you know, my heart and my head, and then see what direction I want my life to look like in the next, you know, decade.
Yeah.
And I guess we have to keep visualizing. And even, you know, I'm so used to closed doors. You know, I always pray for favor, but there's a lot of closed doors, and it's like you have to have tenacity, you have to have grit, you have to have stamina, determination, and it's just like it keeps life
goals, and just keep moving forward, keep pushing
even
down,
though
keep kicking
doors
against
are
the
closed.
door.
I'm like, at some point, life has to give and open one tiny door. You know, I see the light, but you can't, you know, let that discourage you. The light isn't. Maybe it's dim, but it's still there,
it's still
right?
There, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm exploring and enjoying in working on more music and going back in the studio.
All piano, or are you doing some voice?
So I am exploring voices as well.
Okay, good. Because I was saying when we were off camera, I absolutely loved the song about the souls. So what's it called? Remind me the name. That you sang with you actually sang.
Oh, Angels All Around.
Oh, sorry. Angels All Around. Yes, I love that song. Love it. It's beautiful. I wish we had a piano here so you could play it and sing for us. I love that song, Angels All Around. But your piano playing is beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm a sucker for piano playing. That's my most favorite instrument, because unlike you, I grew up, my dad played the piano and the drums.
Wow.
And so I grew up with a lot of music in my life. And so, in fact, one of the things that it says on my bio on dating is, if you play the piano, like, I'll be a sucker for you. Because I love it. So I listened to your album the last 2 nights, fell asleep to it both.
That's so moving.
And in fact, this morning I woke up at 4 a.m. and it was still going.
Oh my gosh, Marissa,
and I just I mean, it's really beautiful, and it reminded me so much of, especially this most recent one with Angels All Around. It reminded me so much. There were some songs where I really felt inspiration from Yanni and his concert at the Acropolis.
Wow.
And I heard it in the music, you know, in the crescendos and the way you would come down, and it was really beautiful.
Thank you. That's so interesting that you would say that, because you know, when we were talking off camera, I was so surprised when you mentioned that, because growing up, people would refer me to, oh, you remind me of Yannis. And I was like, who's Yannis? And then I started exploring. I was like 15, 14, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I do.
Have you ever heard him in concert live?
No, I wasn't able to. No. But my 3 favorite impacts were Vangeli Papathanassiou, that recently passed away, and Spanudakis, Stamatis Spanudakis, and Yannis. I mean, I love these 3 men and their instrumental piano music. So dynamic, so moving. And then, of course, I was influenced by the Beatles and the Doors and all that.
The Beatles alternative and the Doors, love them.
And Guns N' Roses and Metallica.
Good. Well, that's probably why it feels so well-rounded, because you have all of this influence. But, you know, I could really hear it, and the piano is just, as I said, it's my favorite instrument, but your piano playing is just exquisite, and it took me on the roller coaster of emotions, and I just loved it.
A lot of emotion.
A lot of emotions. I could feel it. I could really feel it. So where are you now with your music? What stage are you at with your music now?
Well, I would love to implement. I started in a strange way. I've started collaborating with Greece and doing retreats and all-inclusive yacht trips as well, because my love for the sea. And so eventually I would like, with the retreats, to be able to implement music, workshops.
I was gonna say you could even combine it with therapy and do music therapy and do these if you wanted.
Yeah,
and there's so many ways you could
so many different
bring
things.
your life together.
And so that's what I'm exploring right now. So with Greece on Board, I've brought that with me, and then collaborating with the 3 lovely friends from Andros Island as well, Melia, Despina, and Natalie, who have Olive and Love retreats, and then bringing, no yachts go there, and so they have retreats on the island. They're actually having one right now.
So tell me about this, what you're doing specifically with the yachting and the,
so
because I travel like right up my alley. Love travel.
Okay, so
love the Greek islands. Can I tell you a really quick story about Santorini?
Of course. Yes, and that's where I'm from.
I know.
I grew
So
up
that's
there.
why I want to share the story with you. So one of the many trips I made to Athens to plan, I would do at all those trips, I would pick an island, and I did it that way, right? So on one of the trips, we chose to go. Me and a friend, we were going to go to Santorini. Actually, that's not true. We didn't choose to go together.
Okay.
He was going, and I didn't know we were going. We were staying completely separately. We were both in like the Olympic family. So
2004.
This was way back.
Okay.
So on one of those trips, we flew from Athens at like 9 o'clock at night. We took a plane, one of the little like puddle jumpers, from Athens to Santorini. And you land, and like someone from the little hotel that I was staying at came and got me. And again, this is back in 2004. So
the good old days.
The good old days, yeah. And they brought me into the hotel, and I like walked down the hill a little bit, and I went into my room, and it was pitch black everywhere, and I was exhausted, so I went to sleep. So I wake up the next morning, and the sun is shining, but you're kind of in like this cave-like room. So I open the door, I walk out onto the balcony.
Stables for the donkeys.
What? Yes, yeah. I walk out onto my balcony, and I'm on the sheer side of it, like with all the white buildings and the blue. And I saw that incredible expanse in front of me and all around me. It was bar none, and I've done a lot of traveling. I've been very fortunate. I've traveled all over the world. It was the most exquisite visual, travel-wise, I have ever seen.
Wow.
Ever. Because I woke up, and I didn't see it the night before, so it was like I just walked out front that morning, and that was what I saw. And so now, whenever I tell people, you have to go to Santorini, I always tell them, fly at night from Athens, check into your hotel, go to sleep,
and wake up the
next morning, walk out onto your balcony, and you wake up to paradise. It is like the most incredible visual, and it's real. It's like literally right there in front of you. It's so incredible.
I find of course my roots are from there, and I've been raised there during my childhood years, and throughout my whole life, every summer I've almost spent there. I find it a really spiritual island.
Oh yeah.
When you go there, it's so moving. The volcano is still active, and we have white sand, black sand, red sand, wine tasting. The soil is just so amazing, rich, and it produces over 30 different wines. But it's it was called Strogili, used to be circular, and then with the eruption of the volcano, it became a crescent.
Right.
And then after that, it's like a moon crescent. And from the Italian Santorini, it's really theta. The ancient word for Santorini is theta, means door. And it's just this beautiful crescent that she kind of floats in the middle of nowhere.
Crazy. It's like the craziest thing ever, and it is so beautiful.
It is, and the sunsets are amazing.
From Io
is one of the most popular places to see the sunset. And so what Greece on Board does, I do with my partners, is we travel the Greek islands, and it's a boutique selling experience. And so we curate island experiences, going every day for at least 7 days to a different island, and you get to eat at a different restaurant because you dock and you go out and you explore the islands, and then you're sailing again the blue magical waters of Greece with the company, and you're just really bonding and eating and with the skipper and the hostess and your friends.
How many people go on these?
6 to 8 people can go, and so one of them is going to be going only to Andros Island, which is the biggest island of the Cyclades, and it's really well known for hiking, and it's really green in comparison to all the other Cyclades islands. Okay. And actually, I have a sculptor friend who sculpts, and he's from Andros too, and he loves the marine, Dimitris Roussetos, and he's part of that group too that's from Andros too. So. And then you have all these amazing artists, you know, there's so many artists there. So from the sculptor Dimitris Roussetos, from my friends that do the retreat, they just launched. Everybody just launched. He just launched his gallery, Kohili. My friends just launched their Olive and Love Retreat project in collaboration with Villa Perivoli that they're doing. And then we just launched Greece on Board last year too. And so you're having all of this, you know, after the pandemic, people are trying to be really creative and intentional about what they do. And then changing their life and saying, let's all collaborate. And
like you can see it right there.
Yes. Yeah. And then just collaborate and create something really meaningful and beautiful and experiences for people, because it's not about just work and money, you know, and I don't think money always can buy you know, happiness all the time. So yes, it will buy your trip to Greece.
It'll buy your trip to Greece. So do all of these trips leave from Athens?
They can leave from Athens. We can curate almost anything that you want. If you want me to pick you up from Patmos, I'll pick you up from Patmos, you know, if the weather permits, and I'll take you from here. So from another island, like we had friends that wanted to be picked up from Paros and taken to Santorini. So we try to look at that as really experienced seamen, you know, to make sure what the best alternative is for you. But for the most part, we do leave from Athens, and then we have one-day sailing excursions as well. But the most popular for GreeceOnBoard.com is to go through and experience all these beautiful different islands.
Got it.
Yeah, and Greece.
And Greece, I love that.
And so that's where my new season is, promoting Greece and promoting music, and then trying to keep a balance in moving towards there more and here. And you know, I used to have a life there. I used to live in Greece for 15 years. And so I left a lot of things behind. And so there's a lot of open doors there too, and a lot of here. And so when you're from two countries, you have to, you know, people don't realize that there's a lot of work behind the scenes that you have to maintain.
Right.
That's true. To take care of.
That is very true. Well, Thespina, I've really so enjoyed getting to know you and hearing about everything that you're doing. Do me a favor, look into that camera and tell us where we can find your music and these incredible vacations.
You can find me on Spotify, Thespina Patronas, and you can find me on thespinapatronas.com and Instagram. And then you can also find me on GreeceOnBoard.com. I'll hook you up. Just contact me.
I'm coming. I'm gonna do it. I want to film. Can we film live?
We need to film live.
How amazing would that be? Film a live.
Just traveling.
I would love to do that.
In front of my island in Santorini.
Can we do like all the islands?
All of the islands.
Curate all the islands. Okay.
Mykonos, Santorini, Patmos, Andros. We're everywhere.
I know. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today.
I
hope you'll come back. This was so fun. I loved hearing about all of your different projects. You are an amazing woman.
Thank you. So are you, Marissa.
Thank you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I hope you live your best life 2.0. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.